Sfregola is joining me today to discuss the topics we will cover at SCTECH 2024. This year's theme is Facing Supply Chain Challenges in the AI Age. This presentation at SCTECH 2024 will focus on the balance between technical and human aspects of AI adoption in the supply chain. Hello, Dyci. What sets AI apart from other technologies? The feeling we're getting now, it's similar to the feeling we got when we started with when electronic commerce started being so relevant in the late 90s. And so I think it's a very interesting time. And what can you tell me about that?
I think that the biggest difference that's going to have to happen is the complete cultural shift and paradigm shift within an organization. I love that you compared it to e-commerce. I think AI is very much like the internet and e-commerce, even the future of work and hybrid working, in that it's here to stay. If you don't get on the AI wave, is your business going to fail and all of that? No, I mean, I see the fear-mongering messages. Like, you haven't adopted AI yet. What are you doing? It doesn't matter. You haven't adopted it yet, but you're going to adopt it. You know, like, eventually you will adopt AI in some form within your organization. So don't fight it. Just figure out what the cultural shift needs to look like and how long it's going to take to implement. And that's why, especially with AI, you have to look at it from a very human-centric perspective, because it's one of those disruptive technologies that is changing the way we exist as humans in the world. So you can't say it's not one of those things we're going to try to, figure out how to do. You have to figure out how to do it. And like I said, that's going to require job description changes. That's going to require jobs that don't exist today that will exist tomorrow or next week, and really figuring out how do we all together move this forward, because AI is here to stay. So it's got to be a 360, perspective to use AI to help us with as humans. I'm very much a techno-optimist. I'm very much a person that does not believe in the robots taking over and, we're all going to lose our jobs and, what's going to happen. I am the person on the other side that says, oh my goodness, there are so many things that are just mundane, that are rote, that we do over and over again, that if we have AI that can do this, imagine the immense creativity and just like freedom of, the mental load that people will now have to really drive innovation and to drive changes. And the way that manifests itself in the supply chain is, why would you call your supplier 10 times to figure out where that material is if a bot can do that? There are times where I would sit down and I'm like, oh, I know that a customer sent a PO and it had this product on it. It was going to this destination. Now I need to find that. I want to be able to just search in a system, but the way the systems are set up, it's not a quick search. It's a go find it here, go find it there, et cetera, et cetera. Why would I not want to teach my AI how to go find it?
Information systems have always been about technology, processes, and people. And I know your SCTECH 2024 presentation will focus on people. So what can you tell me about the human aspect of AI implementation?
There is a leader who said, if we implement this automation, what do I do with my people? And it was interesting to me because I thought, what do you mean? What do you do with your people? There's so many things your people could be doing. They're I don't know, create a dashboard, do spend analysis, create strategic relationships, come up with an SRM, supplier relationship management policy, come up with an ordering policy that is driven by not, firefighting. There's so many things people can be doing, but we forgot the human aspect of, what these technology implementations look like. They're not human-centered. And the lazy way to implement, technology, any technology, is we're going to reduce headcount by doing this. So we just really need to figure out what's the human-centric approach to doing these implementations. And even just taking it past, ADCAR, ProSci, of change management and change leadership. It's more than just what's in it for me, like, explaining that part to people. It's also how are people interacting with AI? How do we bring it together? So how do organizational structures need to change? How do, what's the reskilling and upskilling plan? What's the continuing education plan? What is the new skill set that people need in order to interact with this, technology? And what are all of the strategic and operational things that people can be doing if this technology and the bots, are doing all the tactical stuff? So there's a lot that we need to be considering when we're doing these AI implementations that we're not doing because it's complex. It's not hard. There's just a lot of moving pieces. So it's not something you sit down in a 90-minute meeting and you accomplish. But if companies are not already doing that and they don't already have that on the roadmap, then they don't know what their people should be doing because they also don't fully understand how the technology works. One of the things that I was trained to do as a consultant was go into a team and say, blue sky, green field, what do you like? What would make your life better? How, can technology help you? There were so many times where we just didn't really get great answers because people didn't know what the technology could do. Now, after we would do the training on all the functionality and all the things the technology could do, then people would say, oh, if the tool can do that, then I don't want to do this thing. I actually hate doing that. That's the most time-consuming, error-prone process that by the time we get a result, the question doesn't even matter anymore. So yeah, the technology can do that. Of course I want that, but I don't know. So if you don't fully understand how the technology works, and that's, again, making these things human-centric. Supply chain is very people-centric. But we have to just take the time to do it right and to incorporate it into just the way we do business.
Thank you, Dyci. That was very insightful. I hope to get more insight from you during SCTECH 2024.
Looking forward to seeing everyone at this year's SCTECH.
Don't forget to register at sctechshow.com.